Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you were live with us earlier today, you know we had the breaking news that Betty White has passed away at the age of 99 years old. Shortly before her 100th birthday, a lot of news outlets are now confirming her passing. Rest in peace to her. She gave us so many memories of movies and TV, most notably, of course, The Golden Girls. I think that's how I'm going to spend my New Year's Eve, just watching a marathon of The Golden Girls, which still to this day is one of the funniest television shows ever created. Fight me on that. Fight me on that. But rest in peace to Betty White. She has now joined the other angels from the Golden Girls now in heaven. So thank you to her. But as I said earlier today, anytime there's a passing or a loss of personal celebrity, whatever it may be, let it be a reminder, especially as we celebrate this new year, to live your life more fully. If there's something that you've always wanted to do and you've been putting off, do it. If there's something that you need to say to someone, say it. Anyways, guys, I want to get the vibes up. But as always, this is our weekly recap of one of my favorite shows right now. You know I love Sex and the City, but this new iteration, I'm really, really enjoying. I'm really, really enjoying. But we also had another tragic loss. Willie Garson from Sex and the City. I have some information that I have to share with you guys about Willie Garson and what they planned for Willie Garson during this new iteration of Sex and the City and Just Like That, because there was a plan for him. There was a big plan for him on this new season. We will get into that and so much more. We are talking about the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That now on HBO Max. This is our weekly recap. Let's get the vibes up. Happy New Year to all of you that are watching and happy holidays. Let's get into this. If I can get all my buttons together, y'all. There we go. All right. Oh, let's play some music. This is probably the last time we'll be able to play some Christmas music. So I'm going to play some Christmas music. Let's get the vibes up, y'all. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Even on New Year's Eve, this is our second live broadcast and also our third or fourth video of today. Be sure to check out everything that you missed in the last couple of weeks, because I know a lot of you have been traveling, been away from your families. Maybe some of you are just getting back. This is your opportunity to catch up if you need something on in the background to play or something that you want to watch, be sure to check out everything that you miss. Everything in pop culture is covered here on the channel, not just reality TV. I know you love the Real Housewives and reality TV, but be sure to check out every single thing that you miss. We had stories about Chris Noth. He lost his job at the Equalizer. He's lost a lot of things, including $1 million liquor situation that was supposed to be happening. Speaking of liquor, well, this is not. I know it looks like it, but it's not. Get something spicy to drink. Get your best shoes out. I will be dropping the call-in link. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We have to talk about this episode. This was, okay, I said I kept on wanting. I said we need them to explain the episode or talk about the episode at the end. You know why they didn't do that? Because they have a podcast, The Writer's Room. And just like that, The Writer's Room, I've been listening all week. Speaking of Willie Garson, may he rest in peace. Another tragic loss of 2021. So let me stop this. Look, let me stop the snow. Y'all know. We got to take. And just like that in the background. Come on, y'all. Let's appreciate the new things coming to the channel. Thanks to you guys and all of your support. Okay. Willie Garson. According to this podcast, and I've gotten such a deeper understanding, and this is why I love writers. Writers, not just the writers of Sex and the City and just like that, writers in general, especially those that pay attention to details and that there's a reason for what they're doing. And honestly, I only listen to it after I've made my own observation of the episode. I've watched the episode myself, and I suggest the same, of course, because you want to have your own fresh thoughts and ideas. But every single detail about Sex and the City and just like that is thought out. And yes, they brought in a couple of, I don't know how many women of color they brought in the writer's room. I still disagree, though, about that whole LTW eating the French fry. I did a survey of all the Black people I know. And we all said, we're not eating a French fry off of these ladies we just met. Never mind people we know. So I just have to beg to differ with them in regards to that. I know that was their goal of trying to make her relatable and cool. No. But Willie Garson, as you know, Willie Garson played the character Stanford Blatch on Sex and the City. And I said at the top of the season, I'm glad that we're getting so much more of him. We got him in every single the very first 3 episodes, but he became far too sick to continue to film the rest of the season. Well, in the Writer's Room podcast, they reveal that there was a 10-episode arc for Willie Garson. They were planning to have him be a part of the entire season. Unlike how we got him in Sex and the City, where it was just a sprinkle of him, where you had your gay best friend every once in a while. They understood how problematic that was. And they were like, no, your gay best friend is a part of your life. He's a part of your friend group. He's always a part of everything. He's probably the most important person in your life. Sidebar, I was the gay best friend at my friend's gay wedding. Well, not gay wedding. They're straight. I was gay, representing. But I'm one of the very few people attending her wedding, her dinner, and all. So that gay best friend is there, not just a sprinkle in your life. Well, according to Michael Patrick King, Willie Garson was supposed to be a part of all 10 episodes, but when they found out that Willie was so sick, his final episode, they actually wrote a final episode for him. That conversation about him going to Japan was supposed to happen in person with Carrie. It was supposed to be a thing. It was supposed to be a part of the show. It wasn't going to just be a note. Unfortunately, 2 days before he was even able to film it, he called and told them that he's just far too sick to even do the scene or to do the show. I'm just happy that there was intentions of having Willie Garson's character, Stanny, be a part of the entire season. But what he brought in the first 3 episodes was incredible. To me, it was one of the things that stood out to all of us when we've been talking about these episodes. It's sad to me that he wasn't able to finish it. And part of me's like, damn it, if he could have just finished it. But we are getting more of Anthony, Mario Cantone's character. And I've loved Mario for years and a variety of different things. But of course, I think a lot of people know Mario for his role on Sex and the City. We are getting more of him in this season as well. It will be interesting to see if they do handle Stanny's story next season. I don't think this season they will. I think it is going to be Stanny's in Japan representing this TikTok person, creator. Hey, TikTok guys, don't forget to tap your screens. We're talking about the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That. I had to give you a little tidbit of what I got from the podcast and Just Like That, the writer's room, which is great. It really gives me what I need because I like to know what's going on in a creative's head when they write these stories. So let's get into this episode because I did listen to the latest episode of their podcast where they talk about this episode. This episode is titled, what is it titled? Tragically Hip. Specifically, the hip situation going on with Carrie Bradshaw. So, of course, we're all thinking, oh, it's because, they're going to handle these issues of them getting older. And when you get older, certain things, even as in your 30s, your 40s, certain things start to, you're not able to do certain things the same way. You're not able to drink as much. You're not able to hang out as long. Some people can still. I'm telling y'all, last night I was like, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. Oh, it feels like midnight. But we start to think that's what it is in this episode. However, we find out it's something that Carrie Bradshaw was born with. So just when we think they're playing into this, oh, she's getting older, she's going to have hip surgery. No, it's actually something that she was born with. And sidebar, I love how they're slowly but surely giving us Seema. Seema seems to be like she's going to become Carrie's new best friend in a way. Her new, I don't want to say Samantha because I don't think she truly represents Samantha, but I'm liking Seema, and we're gonna get more of Seema next week. Alim, thank you so much for the super chat. You didn't have to. You could have asked the question. I'm trying to look at the chat. But the podcast is available, I know, on Apple. It's available on their podcast app, and I'm sure it's also available on Spotify, but it should be available on all major podcast platforms. And it's called And Just Like That, The Writer's Room. They're not paying me, but what? They should. Joking. All right. Elaine says, I really like Seema. Yes. Nora says, I like Seema a lot. K-Baby says, I really like Seema. There's something about her. I think she has the element of funny and sass and energy. She's giving me a lot of Samantha, but in her own way. And I'm liking how the writers are slowly introducing her to us. So we should also keep in mind that the writers from the original series are being brought back, but to flesh out these other characters that we only got LTW this episode in Seema, but they brought in new writers to flesh out these other women. Okay, so at the top of the episode, we see Carrie. Have we ever seen Carrie's foyer? I don't think we've ever seen her foyer because I was like, are they going apartment hunting? And I'm like, no, that's Carrie's. That's when you first walk into Carrie's, I guess what is it, condo, a brownstone, whatever you want to call it. Remember, she now owns it. She originally, when she had her Carrie apartment, it was a rental. And then she ends up buying it with Aiden. And then they break up. That's a whole situation, y'all. If you have not watched that, it's worth watching Sex and the City again if you haven't watched it, or if you haven't watched it in a long time. With that being said, okay, so we get to see her foyer, or foyer, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, oh, I don't think we've ever seen this before. A co-op, thank you. So we get to see that, but then we also get to see Carrie take an umbrella and use that to lead herself up the stairs because she's having problems with her back. After Big died, they indicated something going on with her back. But we find out later, Seema has the connect. Seema is connected. Who else was connected in the show? Samantha. Samantha always had a connect too. And she was a powerhouse. I'm getting very Samantha vibes. Again, Seema starts with an S. Samantha starts with an S. You got to pay attention to the details with these guys. They're sending little things to us. But I don't believe that we're going to get the same level of, I don't think they're going to mimic Samantha because Samantha is not gone. Samantha is not gone. I love how they're handling the Samantha character. Some people do not like how they're handling Samantha's story, but they have kept Samantha be a part of the show. We even get a text message conversation between Samantha and Carrie. but we'll get there. So Carrie and Seema go to the doctor. Okay, they go to the doctor. Seema is, I think she's becoming her new bestie, and I love it. I love the relationship that's happening between them. I really, really, really do enjoy it. But that's all we really get of Seema. But it was important. It was important. I think they're slowly but surely giving us a little bit of this new relationship, because you remember last week they had that little really tough conversation at the end, but they found some. Carrie came at her in a way, but Seema didn't back down, and I think she respected that. And now they're starting their friendship. They're starting their friendship. And look, any new friendship, especially as you get older, a lot of you already know. If you're not close with someone from years ago, it's hard to start new friendships at a certain age as you get older. A lot of times you make your friends through college, sometimes through work. And if you haven't left your job in many years, you haven't made new friendships since then. And as Drake says, no new friends. I don't know if I believe that. I'm ready for some new friends. Oh, exactly. Nora says, I like it. It leaves the door open. They have clearly left the door open for Samantha Jones, and I'm here for it. I don't know if Kim Cattrall is open to that, but rumor on the street, she was a horror behind the scenes. But maybe she'll learn and grow. I know she's supposed to be doing the voiceover for How I Met Your Mother. That's a great job, but I still would love to see her come back. I would love to see her come back. It's a good payday. They're getting paid $1 million an episode. We're halfway through the season, y'all. We only have 5 more episodes of And Just Like That, the Sex and the City, the new chapter of Sex and the City. Let me move on, because I do want to drop the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. We're already at 200 people watching, and we have over 35 people on my TikTok watching. I appreciate you all being here. Keep tapping your screens, guys. We are talking about, of course, Sex and the City, the reboot. Let's move on. So Carrie finds out during this doctor's appointment that what she has is not an old lady thing. It is actually something she was born with, which is completely not what people expected. They're like, oh, she's 50 something years old. Of course it's a hip thing. Of course she needs a hip replacement. But the writers are so genius, and they did this intentionally to play with that and be like, okay, I mean, yeah, it's something you were born with, but it's still a hip surgery. God, if I have a hip surgery, y'all, that's why I'm literally standing right now. I'm standing. I have a mat. So when you guys say, Kemp, you don't have any rhythm, I'm dancing on a mat that has pressure points in it. It's not easy to dance on. So I can only really kind of. So I'm standing. I'm making sure, a lot of people during the pandemic, which they talk about during Sex and the City, are sitting down a lot. They're not moving around a lot. So that's part of the reason why I really invested in getting a standing desk, because sometimes I prefer to stand and work and stand and speak to you guys, because it's better than sitting down. Just saying. We're going to talk about the pandemic and how Miranda's drinking started during the pandemic. Okay. So Carrie goes to lunch with Charlotte, Miranda, and Anthony. They're making a plan of action. Is this the first time that we've seen Anthony go out to lunch with them? I think so. Well, they're coming together with their plan of action for how they're going to take care of Carrie after her surgery. Because after the surgery, it's going to be like 2 to 3 weeks. And of course, Charlotte, being Charlotte, has a PowerPoint presentation and an Excel spreadsheet to let them know who's going to be helping her when. I need a Charlotte in my life. I think I have a Charlotte in my life, though. I do. Never mind. I had to think about that. I was like, I haven't needed someone in that way. So I'm just thinking, who would do that for me? But I thought of the person. Never mind. But of course, Miranda's drinking is alluded to during this, because she says, let's get some champagne. And Charlotte's like, Miranda, no. So we're still addressing the whole possible drinking issue, which hits a whole new height during this episode. We're in the mid part of the episode. The mid part of the episode. Okay? Well, mid part of the season, I should say, not the episode. The mid part of the season. Laura says, yes, Patricia Field was the OG customer on Sex and the City now, a costumer, sorry, on Sex and the City. Now she's working on Emily in Paris. I haven't watched the new season yet. I didn't love the first season of Emily in Paris because I went to Paris and a lot of the Parisians do not like it either. Sidebar, according to them. But I have to watch the new season. Maybe the new season's better, but I just love seeing the streets of Paris. I've always loved Paris. I didn't really. Never mind. Never mind. Happy Sanford. Yes, yes. Save your hips, backs, legs, folks. Down the line, it counts. Trust and believe. Hydration, H2O, moisturizer. Look. Okay. And I'm gonna take a sip of this. This is just seltzer water, y'all. I hope you guys have something spicy to drink. Every time we recap Sex in the City and just like that, have something spicy to drink. Of course, y'all know I don't drink. So I put seltzer water in something that I think I would drink something spicy in. There we go. Okay. Mm. Nora says it's cute. Emily in Paris, yeah. Nisi says it's not my cup of tea. I know. I'm not going to recap. You guys haven't hit me up to recap that. I am going to check out Selling Sunset hopefully this weekend, and then I'll decide come Monday if we're going to start recapping some of those episodes. We shall see. Let's move on. So Miranda's drinking is alluded to again. One of the things that Carrie says, though, in their conversation at this lunch with Mario and Anthony, is that she says, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. And if you've watched the episode, the fact that she says this and when she needs Miranda the most, she doesn't have her. We'll get there. We will get there. Okay. I'm going to call Rose for now. As we know, Charlotte's daughter has expressed to her that she doesn't feel like a girl. And now, during a meeting with the parents, Charlotte finds out that Rose has changed her name to Rock. However, she doesn't know until her good friend, LTW, is like, all right, everyone, let's end the meeting. And she calls Charlotte and lets her know that Rose wants to be referred to as Rock. So Charlotte confronts Rose and says, did you change your name? And you did not tell us? She's like, I told you in my TikTok. And based on the writer's room, they said this is actually something that happened to one of the writers. And I was like, really? Are kids really doing that? Do I have a picture of Rose? Oh, man, I thought I had a picture of Rose. I thought this was such a cute picture of Rose. I got to get the picture. Just because I'm saying this, I have to get the picture of Rose. I know I have it here somewhere. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where's my picture of Rose? Rose Rock. Look, at this point, what did I do with that? Oh, damn it. I know I had it here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me add it to the fold. Oh, okay. Her rap was terrible. Her rap was terrible. Or their rap was terrible, because that becomes a conversation that they have later. Guys, I apologize in advance. I'm going from multiple pronouns because she's transitioning. And when I say transitioning, not literally, but she's making those small moves from Rose to Rock, from pronoun she to they. And this is a real thing that parents are dealing with today. And I know a lot of people are like, this is fake wokeness. And no, literally, parents are dealing with these issues with their children today. And of course, if we're going to give this issue to anyone, it wouldn't be Miranda. It would be a Charlotte, because I think a lot of people assumed that Charlotte would overreact. And we see the little bits of cracks of Charlotte, who wants to have this very traditional life, husband, wife, kids. And we're slowly seeing little cracks, but she's really trying. Charlotte is really trying to understand, but she's just like, okay, when were you going to tell us that you changed your name? Of course, some of you predicted that Harry would probably have the most difficult time adjusting to this. And in this episode, we get to see Harry kind of be like, what? Rose, one minute she likes something, and the next minute she doesn't. How do we know that she's not just playing with us? And I think a lot of people can relate to what Harry says in this moment. Is like, how do we know that this is not momentary? And that's been one of the big arguments that a lot of people have said about kids that express feeling different. And they say, don't make any changes to your body, even though that doesn't necessarily mean kids are going to make changes to their body. This is what we're seeing Harry go through. But at the same time, Harry's still being respectful of his child. And you see the conversation between Harry, Charlotte, and Rock's teachers, and they're using Rock's correct pronouns and correcting Harry, and he's like, they. And I know a lot of people are uncomfortable, like, no, this is what it is. And look, that's a whole other conversation. But what's the problem with respecting someone's pronouns? And we have to be okay with not using the incorrect pronoun and then apologizing and trying to do better. That has happened to me. I have literally said the incorrect pronoun on live before and have reached out to a person and said, I apologize. I noticed that I used the incorrect pronoun. I think a lot of people are afraid to say that they're wrong and be viewed as wrong. We have to be okay with that. And I ask for grace from everyone. On one side of things, when people use the incorrect pronoun, and not to blast someone for using the incorrect pronoun, but saying, no, this is my correct pronoun. So that's one of the conversations that we're seeing happen between Charlotte and Harry. It seems like both Charlotte and Harry are having their own little struggles with what's going on with Rock, but they are trying to work through it. But you know, one of the things I think a lot of people didn't notice, if you've been watching Sex and the City for a very long time, then you understand it took Charlotte a while to understand and love Harry. You remember though that season, she was just like, this is not the man that I should be with. This should not be the man that I should be with. But at the end of this scene in the school, she says to him, you are a fantastic father. They look at each other lovingly. They hold hands as they walk away. We can't forget these little details, especially if you've been a fan of Sex and the City for a very long time. If you remember what she went through to come to the place that she's in with Harry, those little things. Yes, we're talking about Rock and what's going on there, but there's so much history. There's so much history that makes sense. And that's why it's important probably for everyone to watch Sex and the City first before you watch the series. But you don't have to. You don't have to, but I think it brings a deeper meaning and understanding of all of the characters and where they are today. Okay. I said a lot. Guys, we have almost 300 people in the chat. Let's get to 200 likes. Let's get to 200 likes. That should be easy. Because if you've been here for almost 30 minutes, unless you're hate watching, which some people do, like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We're talking about Sex and the City, the reboot, and Just Like That. I've also give you a little idea that the podcast and Just Like That, the writer's room, is really giving us an understanding of their intentions with some of these characters. All right, let me move on. Okay, so Miranda's going through her Amazon packages like we all do. At some point, I've been good though. I have to say, in the last few months, I mean, I've ordered some things from Amazon, mostly stuff for like work and studio stuff. But with that being said, I like the relatability of that they're adding to the show. So Miranda's going through all of her boxes, and of course, Astro Glide and Tube Socks. She opens up a box, and Brady's girlfriend is there. We didn't see Brady this episode, but Brady's girlfriend's there, going in your going in your refrigerator. Not in my house. I don't know if I could do that, y'all. I say that now, but then who knows? That might be my life. BFL says, Amazon's my bestest friend. I've been better with Amazon. I used to always have something showing up, honestly. Hey, Omar. Omar says, Kempire, if you think about it, it's like them losing their daughter, even though they are gaining a son. So they have to mourn their daughter. That is powerful. It's true. It's really, really, really true. And that's why I think it's important. I think people are very judgmental of the parents that might have a problem if their child is gay or if their child is trans. We have to allow everyone grace in those situations to get to a level of understanding. Okay. All right. Logan said, Logan, we're going to get there. Logan says, so Miranda was a lesbian this whole time, art imitating life, or is she bisexual? I think we're going to explore that. We'll get to Miranda in a second. But Miranda's opening up all of these boxes. Of course, she's finding things that she doesn't want to find, including a book, Quit Like a Woman. And she naturally assumes it was Charlotte Amazoning her. I mean, I Amazon some of my friends, but usually it's a gift. It's not to send a subtle message. Of course, we find out later in the episode, no, it was Miranda who drunk ordered that book to herself. Her subconscious was like, girl, you need help. But she tells Carrie, Charlotte Amazoned me this book. But Carrie does say, do you think you have a problem? Miranda's like, no, I don't have a problem with drinking. We've noticed it from episode 1, and it seems as if we're hitting a high point. We're mid-season now, and it seems as if Miranda's drinking has gotten out of control. The signs are there. We're seeing it. It hits an all-time high in episode 5. Okay? Excuse me. So the relationship between Miranda and Che is also is developing. Che comes to the hospital where Carrie is. Carrie's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So they help her, and Charlotte, being who Charlotte is, and I love my elephant brain because I'm remembering every single detail. So they try to help her to the bathroom. Miranda answers her phone. Che is calling. Che wants to, come bring food to um to Carrie, and Carrie notices that how strong Charlotte is. Charlotte's like, I forgot the exact reason why Charlotte had to. Charlotte had to learn something for the kids, for the school, whatever it may be. And she's like, I've been doing burpees. Truly Charlotte. Truly Charlotte. But of course, there is a conversation that's had between Miranda and Che. Carrie doesn't want to see anybody. So Miranda ends up meeting Che down in the hospital cafeteria, and they have a conversation, about life and about holding things in and about how life can. She compares how she was holding things in and things in life to how it affected her physically. And a lot of people don't realize how stress adds to all of the ailments that are happening in your lives. And that's part of the reason why when we see people like um I'm about to call her Rose Nyland. Betty White pass away and live her life to the fullest. And I always tell you guys, when someone dies, it's a reminder to live your life fully, more fully. A lot of people, the reason why they're sick or getting sick or so easily to get sick is because they're not. Is because they're always stressed out. It's because they're not paying attention to what their body is telling them. So they have this conversation about Miranda, as you know, she's already in this other part of her life. She's going back to school. She quit her corporate job, but she did that for a very long time and she was unhappy with that. If you watched the movie, you saw how unhappy she was with that. And Che is talking about how they can relate to that and their story on how they got to where they are today and how that's helped them physically. But beyond all of that deep conversation that they have, they also are romancing each other, really. It's the flirtation, the subtle flirtation. It's the bonding that's happening between these two characters that we see over time. It wasn't just that one night of a shotgun. It's every time she comes around, Miranda is just like, hi, like a schoolgirl with a crush. We're going to get there. Okay. We already talked about Charlotte and Harry. I'm gonna go through. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's talk about. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about this relationship. So See how happy she looks in this photo? TikTok, you can't see the photos. I'm showing photos on my YouTube. But it's a photo of Miranda as she opens the door for Che. Che, again, is showing up, trying to be supportive to Carrie. Carrie, she was doing the podcast. Carrie is high on her medication. So she does the podcast with that big, and I hear, according to the writer's room, that this hat that she wears during her podcast was all her idea, was all SJP's idea. And in that podcast, she reveals an infamous scene where Samantha's character pulls out Carrie's diaphragm. So they bring that up. And normally she probably wouldn't bring something like that up on a podcast, but she's loopy off of these pills. And Charlotte says to her, "You think you should have brought that up? You might want to call or text Samantha about that." Sometimes I say things on here, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't mention that. And that's why I don't mention anyone that I know personally on here. If you're a celebrity, you're a public figure, and if I interview you and you acted crazy, I'm going to mention it. But like my personal friends, they didn't sign up for being public about anything that's going on. So yeah. Sidebar. I hope my friend told people that she got married. But I didn't tell you who the friend was. Just saying. First of all, I just wanted thank you so much to Nicki Minaj.Empire. Thank you so much for the roses. Thank you to our TikTok fam. Thank you, Miss Sparker, for the New Year's Eve gifts. I appreciate you guys. We are live on multiple platforms, including my TikTok. We are also live on Twitch and Twitter, TheKempire. We are also live on TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. And of course, we are live on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. TikTok, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, head on over there. A link is in my bio here on TikTok. Let's talk about Carrie and Miranda. If you remember any intense conversation that happens between Miranda and Carrie, it's very few times, but when it does happen, it's intense. It's almost uncomfortable for the viewer because it can get so a lot. It's been a while since I've witnessed one between the two of them, but rewatching it in this episode, I was just like, oh, I forgot. We don't get a lot of those fights between Miranda and Carrie, but when we do, it's intense. It's intense. But before we get to the fight between Miranda and Carrie, Carrie is loopy. She's asleep. Miranda gets an intercom call from Che. Che's downstairs. Che's bringing alcohol and a new mic for Carrie. But before Che comes up, Miranda, dolls up herself, checks herself in the bathroom. And then this moment happens in the kitchen. So they start drinking. They take a shot. Of course, Che is smoking something. Look, smoking something. And it turns in from a shotgun to a kiss on the neck to a fingeration. Is that a word? We're going to make it a word. A fingeration. But Carrie wakes up. The secondhand embarrassment. I can't even imagine this happening. I can't. That would be very uncomfortable, especially if it's in my house and you're supposed to be taking care of me. Carrie wakes up, but Carrie's like, I got to go to the bathroom. So she tries to do it herself. She gets a Snapple bottle, pees in that, but then we have the awkward moment when she tries to move the Snapple bottle and the pee is all over the bed. The pee is all over the bed, y'all. Oh my God. All right, we're already 40 minutes in. Mods, can you just let me know how many likes we have? I'm going to drop the call-in link. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I hope we're at 200 likes. If we're not, let's get to 200 likes because I have a lot more to say about this scene. Okay, Miranda and Che. So we knew that this was coming. Let's not pretend. We knew that this was coming between Che and Miranda's characters. We knew that this was coming. And here we are. Look, here we are. They get so loud, so loud. And then poor Carrie, as she's trying to pee, but before she even tries to pee, she sees what's happening in the mirror, that they're getting physical. Her whole apartment smells like weed. First of all, that would have been it for me. That would have been it for me. I don't do that stuff. Y'all know I don't do that stuff. But if my entire apartment, my entire house smells of weed, and you're there to be taking care of me, I understood Carrie's lividness. You're here to take care of me, and I had to pee, and then I had pee all over my bed. First of all, I got pee on my bed. I'm very mad about that already. Luckily, you know what I invested in? This was years ago, sidebar. There is like this covering that you can put on your bed that can, God forbid, any sort of spills or anything like that, it won't touch your mattress. I don't know if Carrie has that, but regardless, you're having sex in my kitchen. I can see you. I can hear you because the apartment's not that big. I have to go pee. I can't go pee. I try to go. I can get frustrated really quickly. I know I seem cool and calm and collected, and I am. But if you're there to do something for me and I physically can't do it for myself, and you're in my kitchen smoking pot and having that, oh hell. Yes, R&B, RN Adiba. RN Adiba. There we go. Yes, Kempire, the bed covering, an absolute must have. Yes. April says that's a Taurus. Is it? I don't know. Okay. Let's move on. Guys, we have almost 400 people watching. Let's get to 200 likes. I'll drop the call-in link. I do want to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to have your best shoe and your spicy drink. Maybe you don't have to have a spicy drink. You don't even have to show your face or your shoe. But if you want to, you can. All right. So Miranda gets off. Because, of course, she gets off. And Che leaves. Miranda goes into the bathroom. Miranda's, the after effects of her orgasm. And she doesn't realize Carrie is up. She's like, close the door. But Miranda's like embarrassed. And Miranda's like, oh my gosh, let me change those sheets. And then when she tries to change the sheets, she hurts Carrie. And Carrie, it leads into this all out tense conversation that only these two women can have. And it makes Carrie say, do you think you have a drinking problem? Because she talked about how her and Che and Miranda were having tequila shots and blah, 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 blah. And Carrie's like, do you think you have a problem? Miranda says that she's unhappy. I wrote exactly some of the things that Miranda says. She says that she feels trapped, that she's unhappy, and that she hates her life. We saw the signs of this episodes leading up to this, where she said that her and Steve are just sort of like roommates. They don't have sex, and they haven't had sex in years. And they have like dessert night. And a lot of relationships probably can relate to Steve and Miranda. And I know a lot of you are saying, oh, is she a lesbian now? No, maybe she's not a lesbian, but maybe she is curious, bi-curious. Some of you said that before. We shall see what the season will bring. Courtney says Miranda rolled back to the whack party. Erica says she wouldn't have finished in my damn kitchen. Y'all are a mess. You can't kill Carrie Ann. Does anyone feel bad for Steve? Miranda always thought she was too good to marry a bartender. And look, that's the other thing that comes up with Carrie. She's like, okay, there's one thing with the drinking, but you also, what's going on with you and Steve in your marriage? And that's where she reveals, I'm unhappy. I'm overwhelmed. I hate my life. And she said, when did that happen? She's like for forever. And she's like, no, that's not the truth. Obviously, that's not the truth. But we also have to remember, the relationship, and this is why it's important to watch the old series. Miranda never really was deeply in love with Steve. She was never deeply in love with Steve. So is it that surprising that Miranda has grown out of love with Steve or outgrown Steve? I'm not surprised by that. Remember how she had poor Brady? That wasn't intentional. She had sex with him because she felt bad for him. Remember? Technically, Brady's an oops baby. And we can say that because he's not a real baby, a real person. He was an oops baby. Steve had one ball. She was like, "What in what world does that make a baby?" Just saying. Just saying. I had to talk about that. All right. Let me drop the call-in link because apparently almost 400 of you do not want to like the video. It's all right. It's all right. Apparently I got a shimmy or something for you guys to like the video. And I'm not shimmying. Just saying. All right. Let me just drop this. There we go. Omar says, Kempire, at the moment, I did not feel bad for Carrie though. Because she should have said something when she woke up. They've stopped. But she also sounded like she was. Remember, she just woke up, so she's groggy. She's also in pain. We have to keep that in mind as well. There's a lot of elements that we need to keep in mind. There's a lot of elements that we need to keep in mind. Right? Look, right? No? But I get what you're saying because I would have found the strength in my voice. Oh, what are you doing? I'm right here. I'm awake. You better hope I don't have this next to me by my bedside. That's all you're going to get from me. Anyways. All right. The backstage is full. All of you guys are waiting to call in. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell because you're getting daily and consistent content here on the channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, Kempire Radio, on all major podcast platforms. All right, let's get into some callers because I've already talked for almost 50 minutes. See, this is one of those shows I could talk about for a long time. But before I do that, I do want to say thank you. Elaine, you really did not have to do this. Thank you so much. This is so generous of you. So generous of you. Dimples out and khaki pants up. Cheers to 2022. Happy New Year to you, Elaine. And Happy New Year to everyone that's watching. I appreciate you, Elaine, so much. Thank you. All right. Okay. Shantae's backstage. Hold on. All right. We got a full backstage. All right. I'm going to bring everyone up. Let me just do this. All right. Shantae, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Shantae?
And just like that, Happy New Year's Eve.
What were your thoughts on this latest episode?
Yes. So let me just off top, the irony in that whole moment with Miranda and Carrie and her chewing her out. Do we remember when Carrie was there for Miranda when her legs went paralyzed and she had to send Aiden over to help her ass out when she was in the bathroom?
Yeah.
So it was like a full circle moment. You know, I had your back this one time, you didn't have mine. That's kind of where I was with that pretty much. And it was like, oh, girl, that's exactly what I thought of in that instant. I was like, so you mean to tell me old girl had to wait till she had a little before she could get some assistance? Honey, no, that could not have been moi. But yeah, that
she was definitely tipsy, if not drunk.
Yes, off top, that's exactly what happened. That's popped up in my mind. Steve and Charlotte and their child, you know how we talked about in the beginning, we just felt like they're just pushing the woke too much. And I'm feeling like that less and less. And I think it's because we all have to understand this show is not picking up right where it left off in 2003 or 2004. They're picking up in present day. So of course we're going to see how these women exist and move and live in the world we have right now.
Yeah.
So if one of their kids is involved, then it makes sense that it would be Charlotte's child, especially because, like I said, it would make sense for Charlotte, as sentimental as she is, the one child she birthed, to be her mini me. And she feels like she's kind of losing that. You know,
Yeah.
she had to fight to not lose the fact that she was going to be a mom when she was married to Trey. She had to fight to keep that apartment.
Oh.
She had to fight Bunny McDougal. And now she's trying to, I don't think they're going to necessarily make her fight how she feels about her child, because that's her child. But now it's like she's going to lose that. I do think it's fair to kind of touch on how she may feel about that just a little bit. Doesn't mean she doesn't accept her child or doesn't love her child any less. And like I said, I feel like Harry kind of always maybe had an idea, just because he's maybe the more, I don't want to say cooler parent, but he's the more laid back parent. You know, he's just Harry's very loving, very accepting and all that. So that kind of stuck out to me the most with that particular part. And it kind of goes back to how we've always kind of pegged Charlotte as the stick in the mud.
Yeah.
But we see that she has quite a diverse group of friends and seems to accept a lot, in spite of the fact that she seems to be prudish. And so she can't be that much of a stick in the mud to have navigated some of the things she has.
Across that way. She still has that Charlotte-esque-ness to her.
Absolutely.
Charlotte in 2021.
Definitely. But as far as Miranda and Shay, so I kind of have the feeling Shay might just be a one-season character.
Really?
I feel like that.
I don't about that though.
Really? Because it's just that she's so one-dimensional for the character that she is. I feel like so. But I mean, it's a very interesting storyline because it's got us talking. But yeah, and it was kind of nice to see the back and forth text between Carrie and quote unquote Samantha.
Yeah,
that was nice to see. Yeah, because it's, even though we know, and the show seems to be doing fine without it. I know a lot of people are like, if there's no Samantha, I'm not watching this show. And I get it. I understand it. But, you know, they're trying to improvise and write around the whole absence as it is. And I think they're doing a pretty good job of explaining things away and that type of thing. And maybe eventually they'll just slowly taper off. I don't know. Or maybe, I'll tell you what's going to be weird is if we start getting a thing where Carrie is Skyping or FaceTiming Samantha and we don't see the screen and we get somebody doing a weird voice imitation. I'm not going to like that at all.
Well, you know who can do a really good imitation of Samantha?
Who?
Christina Aguilera.
Yes, from SNL. I'm a private dick. I'm a dude. I just thought I'd let you know. That was absolutely hilarious. She could probably do it and it would be funny. But yeah, that's my little 2 cents. I can't wait till next week's episode when we get our girl Seema.
Yeah.
I'm starting to identify so much with her, being over 40 and single, being a fabulous real estate agent, being with a matchmaker. Well, I think she should get a matchmaker. I do.
Wait, did you get one?
I told you I did.
Oh yeah. All right, stay tuned. 2022 is going to be Shantae's year. Happy New Year.
We shall see.
Oh my God, a mess. I need to say thank you, Libra. Thank you so much for the super chat. Well, I didn't look. I didn't shimmy for Elaine. Elaine, I'm shimmying for you. Now I'm shimmying for Libra. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy New Year. Continue good content in 2022. Thank you. And that is the hope. That is definitely the hope. Diana, thank you so much for another super chat. Shout out to Diana. Diana reminded me. Shout out to all. Oh, hold on. Speaking of moderators, hold on. We got people acting a fool up in here. I'm glad I saw it. There we go. Shout out to all my moderators. Because we had a person acting a fool. Did we get them? Did we get all of them? All right. Troll alert. Diana reminded me that she was my first moderator. And we were at 4,000 subscribers. I didn't know if I needed moderators at that point. But then, trolls like this one. Hold on. Did I get rid of this one? I think I did. All right. I think first moderator. She was our first moderator. And she's been such an amazing moderator, amazing confidant to wield ideas in regards to how we have all the moderators on the same page. So shout out to Diana. Diana says, Kempire, you're one of the bright spots of 2021 for me. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Diana. And thank you so much for always protecting the channel, protecting me in the comment section. But I always tell Diana and all our moderators, allow people to have their opinions, unless they're a troll like the one we just had, or someone just saying something racist or sexist or really incredibly derogatory towards guests that we have. I could take it because a lot of times I'm not reading it. So thank you to Diana so much for the super chat. Lady Diana. Yes, Lady Diana. That's what we should refer to Diana as now. All right. We have a long line of people backstage. People backstage. Let's keep it brief and cute. I don't want to rush you. I'm not trying to rush you, but I do want to get to everybody backstage. All right. Erica's here. What's going on, Erica?
Hey, how you doing?
Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I've been booked and busy, honey, but I'm here.
That's good.
And sick.
Oh,
I know. It's out here, people. Please be safe. Me and my daughter, we both had the Omarion. So just
I just saw a headline where because you're in the DMV, right?
Yes, we have the highest number.
It's bad in DC right now. So stay safe. Are you guys on the mend?
On the what?
Are you guys on the mend? Are you starting to feel better?
Yeah, this is the last day. They only want 5 days, which is ridiculous because this is the most contagious, but you're only supposed to quarantine for 5 days. It doesn't make sense.
CDC and Delta. And when I say Delta, the airline.
Oh, gotcha. Let me just say this. I definitely feel for Charlotte being a mom myself, and I only have one daughter, like one. That's why I need to hurry up and get another one because I'm just saying, you hear me out. What if, because we all have these dreams, expectations for our kids, and they don't. Anyway, I feel for her. That's all I'm saying. But you do have to mourn and realize that your child's life is not your own. But dang. But the school was definitely wrong for not sending her an email or something. Yeah. Like, this is big. Like, all the other parents knew, which is weird. How all the other parents knew, but not Charlotte? I didn't get that. That was maybe all her.
I can see that happening because people just don't want to have the conversation. They're going to assume if we know, Charlotte must know.
Facts. So that was just weird that she didn't know. And I believe Charlotte is evolving, and that's great to see because she was a traditionalist, a conservative, stick in the mud type of woman. So it's great to see that, like your last caller said, this is your child. So all of that is gonna go away, because it's unconditional love we have for these little monsters out here. Love them though. Listen, Shay is thirsty. Okay. I'm just saying.
Why you say Shay's thirsty?
I think she sniffed Miranda out. She knew what it was and just wanted to test her out. Because listen, honey, you and Carrie, y'all not that close. Y'all delivering all these packages and all this stuff, especially when we got Uber Eats and all these apps. I just think she knew what was up. I think we all know when you get the vibe. So she got the vibe.
I want to make sure we're using the correct pronoun for Shay's character, though.
Oh, what did I say?
They.
Okay, they. My bad. I'm just, Lord. Okay, they. Yes. Can I just say Shay? Yes. Shay knew what was up, and they were like, "Oh, I like Miranda. I feel the vibe. I'm gonna poke at her and see what I can get."
Literally poke at her.
Literally poke at her. She did that scene though. Cynthia, girl, I felt all right. She did that.
That was some of the best acting. Cynthia Nixon is a fantastic. I'm not even just talking about that scene.
Yeah,
there's been scenes with Cynthia Nixon on this show, but on other things, she's a phenomenal actress.
She is. I think she's a better actress than Sarah.
Oh, agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. I love Sarah Jessica Parker, but I don't think she's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm with you on that. What do you think Carrie's gonna do with this information? Like, I guess just keep it to herself. Like, are we gonna hold her accountable? Like, are we gonna say something? You remember how Love and Marriage Huntsville? Are you gonna keep hanging with this adulteress? Like, what do you do? But that's her best friend. That's her girl. I know she's just gonna let it go.
There's two things that she's holding on to: the alcoholism and the cheatation situation.
Yeah, well, I hope they get it together. Anthony, he's a little out of place.
Mm,
I love his moments better with Charlotte because that's his bestie.
yeah.
Especially with Sesame City. His little quick liners they were legendary.
Yeah.
So Stanny fits them better. So Anthony, you need to come with it, or you're not going to be invited to the table anymore. I'm just saying, right. You can do all that, honey.
I love this moment. I was
Oh,
like, all
yes.
right, Carrie.
Deliver the bread, do what you need to do, but you don't need to sit with us at lunch. So,
Damn.
okay, it's about to get loud here. Let me go. But but yes, everything was good though. I enjoyed the show. This episode was good.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for calling in. Happy New Year. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna just say thank you. Delsenia, shout out to Delsenia too, another fantastic moderator on multiple platforms. Delsenia will be in the Twitch. She'll be on TikTok, moderating, and of course, on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Thank you, Delsenia. Delsenia says, Diana is the reason why I stayed on this channel. She made me feel so welcomed. And now I'm following in her moderator footsteps. Happy New Year, everyone. Yes. Delsenia, thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. Shout out to all our mods. I mean, we don't want to just say those couple of mods. Shout out to all of our mods that are here when they can be. I know moderators, you're not paid. Just in case you guys didn't know, moderators aren't paid. It's a volunteer position, and I appreciate any time that you guys are able to make time to be here and help moderate the channel. Because you see, I'm dealing with all the technology. I'm giving you content, and I'm trying to see what you guys are saying in the chat. And I do a little bit of moderation if I can, but it's a lot to handle. Sway Jones says, I love Anthony though. I love Anthony too, but I get what Erica's saying. It's just sort of like, Stanny would have been perfect. And I think that was the intention because based on the podcast, they said that Stanford had a 10 episode arc. So they planned on having him in the show. He just was too sick. He wasn't even able to come in and do the final scene that they wanted him to do on the show. All right, Shalia, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Shalia?
Hey.
Hey.
So, I'm loving the show so far. So I'm really excited. I'm a newbie to Sex and the City. I started binging it during the first quarantine. So I binge watched it all, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." So when that's the reboot, I was like, "Okay, cool." I do see that Charlotte is evolving and changing, and I'm appreciative of that. Especially, I like the fact that they gave her this issue and this topic to tackle because it is a challenge for her. You can visibly see that it's a challenge for her, and she's trying to fight the old Charlotte coming back, and Harry's kind of pulling her towards having that old Charlotte come back, but she's fighting it. So I'm appreciative of that. But I do think that Shay is going to break Miranda's little heart and talk about Miranda on the podcast and use her as content. I see it coming.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't think about that.
I see it coming. They are going to break Miranda's heart, okay? I see it. And it's bad. And Miranda just walked right into it. She got her little thirsty self all in this mess. She ain't know what she was doing. And now look,
she does look very thirsty. Where is that picture?
Just running to the bathroom. Ma'am, go sit down. Open the door and call it a day. You thirsty. Oh, Shay's coming up. Ma'am, go see how Steve doing. But I'm totally on Carrie's side with this situation too. Like, Carrie is normally bratty. She's almost always bratty and always me. But she's justified in this situation. And how dare you let someone come smoke in my house? And how dare you get one off in my kitchen and make all these animalistic sounds in my kitchen? Absolutely not.
Not animalistic.
Like, absolutely not. You are not about to sit here and do that in my kitchen. And you call yourself my friend? Now, I get you going through things. I get you having a midlife crisis, but my kitchen is not the place to have it. So, get it together, Miranda. And, I hope that they allow Miranda to, they only have a few episodes left, so hopefully they do allow Miranda to get the help that she needs and actually deal with the situations and the things that she's going with in her life. But Carrie's kitchen was not the place.
Definitely not the place. Shalia, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Speaking of Miranda and her drinking, one of the things that we do see later in the episode, it wasn't Charlotte. It wasn't Charlotte that ordered the book and Amazoned her. She did it during a drunken ordering situation. And very much like us, Amazon's always sending us emails and notifications. How would you rate this order that you did? And she realizes that, and she pours the alcohol in She pours all her alcohol out. That doesn't mean automatically that she's okay. But I do know people that had an issue with drinking and were able to quit cold turkey. I'm not sure if that's the angle they're going to go with Miranda or it's going to resurface again. But Miranda has a lot going on this season. Thank you so much, Dr. Payne, for another super chat today. We appreciate you always supporting the channel. Recap Selling Tampa, please. I'm gonna watch it. So many have hit me up too, and I said I was going to recap it, but I want to watch it first, and then we'll start recapping, a few episodes at a time. Because as you know, with Netflix, they just put everything out at once. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Sex and the City reboot. And just like that, we have almost 400 people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And as always, the holidays might be a little bit over, but don't forget, your discount of 10% off can be achieved when you go to thecoldest.com to get your coldest water bottle. Multiple colors, multiple sizes, keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. Is one of the ways that I remind myself to drink water every single day. Get your coldest water bottle today. Use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off. Shout out to everyone that's been tagging me in their coldest water bottle pictures. I love it. Shout out to the winners of the 12 days of giveaways. We gave away 3 coldest water bottles this past Christmas. This past Christmas, we literally, I know, until 3 Kings. The Christmas tree might come down, though, this weekend, y'all. I got to be proactive. But I'm going to keep up some of the Christmas stuff on some level. But some of the stuff is going to go. But as you see, new things are coming. Look, my poor little poinsettias, it's time to throw those suckers out, poor things. But look, new things are coming to the channel, and that's because of all of your support. So thank you in advance. And thank you to everyone that sends PayPal, Venmos, and Cash Apps. I don't see them until after the live, but I do want to say thank you to everyone that says they love the channel and love what I'm doing. We're going to do bigger and better things in 2022, so stay tuned. All right, let's take some more callers. JDW, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, JD? You're muted.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. My mic was off. Hello?
That's okay. What's going on?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, you can't.
I can't hear.
Call back. I know she can't hear that, but call back. Good. All right, Amy, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I crown Miranda the queen of stank. Dank. That was just nasty. In your friend's house, in her kitchen, with that stank. Shay, I said it. I feel like that the previous caller said that that's going to come back and bite Miranda. I feel it in my bones because Shay, from her own description of her life, she's kind of used sex as a tool to control, in my opinion, because she's like, I've had men, I've had women, I've did threesomes, whenever somebody's over sexualized, they just don't value it. That's all. And as much as she feels like being with Shay was a freeing experience, I was like, girl, you're going to feel it in the end because that woman, they is a mess. I just got that vibe from they that Shay ain't right.
They must be doing something right because so many of you have strong reactions to the Shay character.
I don't like Shay, and it's nothing against her non-binary category or self-identifying self. I just don't like a character of person who seems like they don't give a F. She's like she doesn't care about, like, even when remember when they first encountered each other and how upset Miranda was, and she didn't see anything wrong with giving somebody's kid weed. I just was like, fundamentally, y'all would never get along, even though you feel like you would. I'm like, no, she just is good in bed. Shay is just good in bed. End of discussion. That's it. I know why you're unhappy. Your son is bringing up his little bummer girl. What do they call it? A homosexual girlfriend in the house, eating and talking back. That would depress me too. That's a mess. Your whole household is out of order. Get that in order, and then maybe you'll be a little bit better off. That's all I'm saying. And then Charlotte, I reacted different about Charlotte's situation. I felt like the school was out of line. if you're going to coach a child to feel expressive, the first person or the first people, or that it should part, the parents should be a part of it. And unless she said my parents are against it, then you can basically, because some people parents, if the child has tried to tell the parents and the parents is not with it, but her parents had no idea. If y'all would have tried to coordinate and sit down and tell that they to tell their parent, that would have been better. But they, even the whole correcting of the name Rock, not wrote, girl, I would have went off. Not my channel, not you gonna tell me what to do. Not no. And it's nothing against, it's how it was done. It was
you feel like there should be communication between the school and the parent.
Yes, something like that. That's, to me, like, I mean, I went to a performing arts school. Don't get it twisted. Like, everyone was coming out the closet, especially because we had the most welcoming environment. But at the same time, as a parent, there is like a certain level of respect you got to give them. And I've seen it in my own like school experience. Our school was not the school to just be like, F your parents. Do what you want to do. It was, we can help you tell your parents. We can do this and that. That whole interaction was just dead wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was not and there is a such thing as heterosexual, where people try out sex and they are attracted to everything and they're trying to figure it very much is an experience. I have seen it where, I mean, performing arts, you have everybody in a space that are expressing themselves. So as much as that people keep saying that no, people are born, I'm like, no, there are people who are born to experiment. Don't get it twisted. People do what they, now you know who you are, but you still need to be guided. Let's not get it twisted. And disrespecting your parents is not okay. So that's what I was mad about.
All right, Amy, I appreciate you calling in. Happy New Year to you and yours.
Okay, have a nice one.
Bye. All right. I do want to say thank you. Thank you, Erica, so much for the super chat and for calling in. But why did Shay say DM me? Like, you couldn't give me your number? Miranda, don't know what that is. Hashtag Logan said it, not me. Well, I paid attention to that as well, but that is the era that we're in. Even grown adults that aren't from, they're not teeny boppers or 20-year-olds are saying, oh, DM me or hit me up on Instagram. Look, I cross the line when people tell me, do you have Snapchat? Why do you need my Snapchat? And I lie and say I don't have one. I have one. I just don't use it. So technically, I really don't have one. And no, I'm not going to communicate with you through Snapchat. You want my number? But my number? Anyways. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right. Tawana, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Tawana?
Hi, Cam. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So I just want to start off by saying this has been my favorite episode so far.
Tawana, before you continue, is there any way that you can speak up, or because it's hard for me to hear you?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try something. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still a little low. Maybe everyone else can hear you a little bit, but it's a little hard for me to hear you. Oh yeah, they tell me they can't hear you either. Tawana, do me a favor, drop out and then call back.
Hear me?
You up.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we. Okay. Oh yes, Tawana. Hey.
Hey.
Did you
Okay.
have your headphones in?
Yes.
That's
I
what
just
it
took
is.
them out. Okay, so I just want. Okay, first off, I agree with everyone saying that Shay is gonna hurt Miranda, and I'm hoping Miranda has a conversation with Shay before she decides to say something to Steve or decide to leave Steve for Shay, because I feel like Shay is like one of those hippie, free love, don't want to commit type of people. And I understand why Carrie went off on Miranda, because her whole house is smelling like sets, weed, and pee, and she can't walk. She can't wear heels. I would be upset too. I would have been upset too. And also with Charlotte, if I was Charlotte, I wouldn't went up to the school and acted fool. Like, you could tell that school is not cheap. It looks like a mini Harvard, and they can't even communicate with their parents properly about what's going on with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, I would have turned all the way up on the school. But I also want to touch on the end. I haven't heard anyone say anything about the end of the episode, but I feel like Carrie is starting to get back to her old self after Big died.
Mm.
Because when she went to the therapy and she's like, I'm willing to pay out of pocket to be with this man, I feel like,
I mean, though, come on, Tawana. Did you see what she had to deal with?
yeah,
I mean, I
I
would have
see.
paid out of pocket too.
Yeah, he was good looking, but I feel like she's ready to get back out there and start dating. And at the end, she put on her sparkly dress and her heels. Like, she ready to work out that new hip. So,
But you know what? A lot of people are very judgmental of Nene, and Greg Leaks passed away in September, and a lot of people have been critical of her dating, shortly thereafter. Is it too soon?
with Nene, yes, I do think it's too soon with Nene, because her and Greg, they have kids, and you have to think about how your kids are gonna feel, because your kids are still mourning their parents, and mama is just out here like, hey, I got a man, more than one man. It looked like she got an old and a young. But this was a great episode. Shay, ugh, I feel like, yeah, she's not the one for Miranda. Oh, excuse me, they are not the one for Miranda. I
Yeah.
feel like when she gets her drinking under control, she'll. And then another thing, Miranda told Carrie that she hasn't been happy in her marriage ever. So if she wasn't happy in her marriage, why she just didn't leave Steve when he cheated on her in the first movie?
Mm.
Like, if you haven't been happy in your marriage ever, why did you fight for your marriage after that? You should have just let it go.
But Carrie even called her out on it. She's like, "That's not true," and I
Yeah,
honestly don't believe that that's true. I think there was happiness there. I just don't think that Miranda and Steve were going to end up with each other or be together as long as they've been together.
well, if you think about how their relationship, how their marriage started, it really only started because she got pregnant with Brady.
Yep.
And she felt like she had to marry him.
Mm.
But I feel like she's not thinking clearly because of the drinking. And I feel like when she stops drinking, she'll be able to analyze her life, her marriage, put Brady's girlfriend out, and just. Did you see how that girl ordered like flavored lube to the house?
And it's going in your refrigerator?
Yes! You sending lube to my house? I miss. But
Couldn't be
Happy
me.
New Year.
You too. Thank you so much, Tawana, for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Dustin, I'm going to bring you up in just a second, guys. But if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Sex and the City reboot. I'm taking a couple of callers, but if you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts. This is the mid-season episode. There are only 10 episodes. This is episode 5. It's been such a good season. Such a good season, but I'm getting a little bit more clarity by listening to the And Just Like That, the Writer's Room podcast, which is available on all major podcast platforms. No, they're not paying me, but what? They should. All right. I'm going to bring Dustin up. What's going on, Dustin? Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
What's going on, Kempire?
Not much. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you? I don't watch the show, but I want to give you a shout out. I like your podcast, and I'm so excited for 2022 for you.
Thank you so much, Dustin. Thank you for always supporting and listening and calling in and being here. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy your holiday. Stay safe.
You too.
All right. We have a couple of people. Well, we have like 3 people. I'm going to take these last 3 callers, guys. But again, thank you to everyone in the live chat that are being a part of the conversation. I just want to say thank you to my TikTok fam as well. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for tapping your screens. We have almost 3,000 likes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Diana, for reminding us that we have been doing since August fundraisers every single month here on the channel. Of course, for the month of December and January, we decided not to do fundraisers because I know a lot of you are spending money on visiting family, gifts for family. So I wanted to give back to you. So that's why we did 12 days of giveaways here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. So thank you. But also thank you to all of you that have donated to our fundraisers, where we raised over $10,000 from August to November. That short period of time, we raised over $10,000 from multiple organizations, including, of course, we did a Hurricane Ida relief where we raised over $1,000. The Hope for Haiti, where we raised over $5,000. We did a special Breast Cancer Awareness Month fundraiser for Black Women's Health Organization, almost $3,000. And of course, last month we did the National Native American Heritage fundraiser, where we raised almost $1,000 as well. So thank you to you guys. It's a great way of reflecting on what we've done in 2021. Erica, thank you so much for the super chat. Another super chat. There we go. Miranda would have been happy if she would have chose Blair Underwood. I'm just saying. I think we all would have been happy if she chose Blair Underwood. That was a good time. That was a good time. All right, Rasani, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Rasani? Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I didn't watch this episode.
We ruined it for you.
It's okay. I'm still going to watch it. Doesn't matter. Just
watch it again too, for a third time.
Just because I'm watching and just like that, I'm rewatching the original. Do you remember in season 1 when Miranda was trying to get chummy with the partners, and one of her colleagues hooked her up with a girl? It's like, oh, I thought you were gay, da da da. Yeah. And they went, and she was in the elevator, and she kissed her, and she's like, yeah, no, nothing. But we'll see how that plays out. Just a reminder.
Yes. This is why it's so important to rewatch. I forgot about that. So do you think that this whole relationship with Che is just a moment?
I'm thinking it's just a moment. I can't really see the breakdown with Steve. Like, why? I wish they would like show more why it's broken down with her and Steve, because remember when Steve cheated, and this is in the movie, and they, went through all of that and walked across the Brooklyn Bridge and were happy and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Second movie, they were happy and content. I just want to know where the breakdown is. Really before I get to my point for why I'm calling, just a suggestion. Maybe you don't want to do a fundraiser for next month. Mm-hmm. And start it back in February, because Christmas. After
effects of
everybody's broke. Yeah, we're still broke in January. But the reason for my call is and back up. I think it was Erica that called about the C and the 5 days. I think the reason they're doing it for 5 days is more for the economy, because they want you to go back to work. But separate and apart from that, my main reason for calling was to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to the mods. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat. Anyone going out, be safe, wear your mask. It's very contagious. I got shot by it again. The effects weren't as bad this time around. It felt more like a cold for me, but I still have a cough and all that good stuff. But I just want to say Happy New Year. I hope 2022 is a much better, healthier, prosperous, emotionally, financially, personally, mentally, for all of us all. So Be safe, everyone. Have a Happy New Year, and we'll see each other next year.
Thank you
in a few hours.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And just it's about to be 7 p.m. Eastern here. So in about 5 hours, it will be the new year. I'm going to watch me some Golden Girls. Rasani, I appreciate you always supporting the channel and calling in and reminding us some really important parts of Real Housewives history, but also now Sex in the City.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay. All right. We're going to take these last couple of callers. JD, I'm going to bring you back up. What's going on, JD?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for bringing me back up.
There we go.
I had a mini panic attack. I was like, but thanks for bringing me back up. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. I'm gonna be really quick. I feel like Charlotte was the MVP for me of this episode. I don't know if anybody brought this up because I was kind of in and out. The fact that she had to bring to Carrie's attention to reach out to Samantha that she mentioned her on the podcast, and the fact that Carrie had like no like it didn't come to her to say, oh, maybe I should reach out to her. Like you said her whole government name on this podcast and without her permission, like, yes, you should tell her.
But remember,
she
was high on medication.
Yes, she was. So I was happy about that. And I was happy about Charlotte's meeting with the school. And I loved her outfit. And when they were walking down the hallway, I was like, yes, to the pants and the and the heels. Like it just was a whole look, a whole vibe. I loved LTW. I need more of her. I need more of Lisa Todd Wexley. I just love her. She gives me so much life when she's on screen. And I love that she pulled her to the side like a real friend and let her know what was going on. I thought that was great. Yeah. I do agree with everyone. Che is Miranda's gateway drug into the alternative lifestyle, as she says. She calls it herself alternative types. Yeah. And that's where she needs to be. The entire series, Miranda has never fallen head over heels for a man. She's always been very indifferent to the idea of a relationship with men. And this is where she belongs. I feel like this is her awakening, and I'm happy for her that she had that revelation. I just hope that Steve is okay at the end of it. I don't need to know, again, the teenage sex is very uncomfortable for me with the lube. Like, come on, go down to Dwayne Reed and do what you got to do. You don't have to go to Amazon.
But we know that's what people do, though. In real life, are people really going to the Dwayne Reed, or are they ordering?
It's 2021. It's 2022. Why not? Yes, mind your business. I'm using my debit card. Yes, I have my own bag. And let's keep it moving. I'll never see you again in my life, so it's fine. But that's all.
JD, thank you so much for calling in. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye. All right. All right. Black Opinionated. I'm going to bring you up in just a second. But this is just a reminder, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. This is our weekly recap of the Sex and the City reboot. And just like that, that's available right now. Episode 5 is available right now on HBO Max. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone that sent in super chats. I appreciate you guys. And if you send Venmo or PayPal or Cash App, thank you in advance. Thank you to everyone in our TikTok chat. Also, people watching on Facebook. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. And of course, the Kempire Radio Network. Speaking of which, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Kempire Radio, available on all major podcast platforms. And don't forget to rate and review because it does matter. It does matter. All right. Let's take our last caller of 2021. Black Opinionated, you're going to be the last caller of 2021.
Yay! Can you hear me? Oh, thanks for having me on. So let me just get right to it because I know you want to get off. So number one, I'm going to be honest. Everyone's going to disagree with me on every single thing that I'm saying. Number one, the writers are straight up trolling Gen X. I feel like it's no personal attack against Gen X because this is the only thing that Gen X had. And they went and like totally jacked up the original Sex and the City series. However, this is what I do think. There needs to be a season 2 because they need to get some of it right with the toxic wokeness and everything like that. And I think what happened was when they threw it all at us, like they did not finesse us. They literally gave us almost every social issue and I don't know, they just jacked up all the characters. And so what happened was they didn't finesse us into the development. It was like, bam, here it is. So that's my personal feeling. Number 2. Okay, so I want you guys to like not kill me on this, but
no, opinionated. Look, everyone is welcome here on the channel and that's been the theme of our channel since the beginning. Everyone's welcome to call in and share their differing opinions as long as you do it in a respectful way. You have every right because there is someone watching and listening that agrees with you.
Thank you. So this is the thing with Carrie. We know that in the original series that she was always self-centered, but I don't know if anybody caught it. She's actually the caregiver in some of these scenes, right? When she needs the caregiving, actually, it's been turned on, like it's been turned around. For example, when Big died, she had to provide like mothering and nurturing to Charlotte when she was the one who was in need of comforting. And then when Carrie was in the bed, like roided up on steroids, she had to go tinkle, and she's like, "Please come help me." Miranda's in there getting her rocks off. She's got a pee in like a Snapple bottle or something. Then she pours it on her, like comfort her, and it was so disgusting. And I'm like, in that moment, she needed her friend now, but her friend. So after all that's said and done, she comes out and she like Miranda centers herself in the whole situation. Like, I'm unhappy. I'm like, girl, you are doing too much. Clean up that pee on that bedspread. That is disgusting. And she didn't wash her little nasty hands. I'm like, we're in a whole on pandemic. She didn't wash her little nasty hands. She's got sex all over her hands. The whole thing was just so gross. So sorry.
This is why I love when you guys call in, because there's certain things that I didn't think of, and then you bring it up, and I'm like, but we have to remember though, from the beginning of this season, it seems as if the pandemic doesn't exist in New York based on this show. Like, I haven't seen a mask anywhere.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. That's why I said the writers are trolling us. They are all the way trolling us. But let me get on to the I am on the Charlotte sucks train. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Everyone says that
Charlotte sucks train.
Yes, Charlotte sucks, not Kristen Davis. Charlotte sucks, and I'll tell you why. Everyone seems to think that she's growing. I don't think she's grown at all. She's walking around in these Pollyanna dresses with the heels. Who cooks in the kitchen in a full-on dress and heels, talking to some look? And let me tell you something. If you go back to that scene, you'll see Nicole Ari Parker. What is she, Lisa? She's looking chic and fab. Looking chic and fab. But Charlotte's looking like Pollyanna. I'm like, not buying it. Charlotte is insufferable. She has not grown. She's wearing these stupid dresses and heels with all these weird prints on it. She's not chic. And I'm like, I'm just saying, most of the 55-year-olds I know are totally popping and locking. She is not popping and locking, and neither is Carrie, walking around with that old outfit on, going up the stairs with her umbrella and her doily outfit. The outfit was like a doily. Go back and watch it. It was a doily with pink. It was ugly. It was all the way ugly. Charlotte, on the other hand, is doing this weird stuttering and fluttering thing. She's
But remember, wait. We are fans of the Real Housewives of New York. Charlotte's representing the Upper East Side women. Wouldn't you see someone like Ramona wearing what Charlotte's wearing?
No. If you go back and look at Ramona, does not look like that. No, she does not. You are not being intellectually honest. Ramona, as crazy as she is with the eyes, she does not look like Charlotte. She doesn't do that weird, like,
But wait. We have to remember, though, Ramona's on a television show, so she is a little bit more aware of what people are saying about her outfits and her fashion. But if you look at the women that live on the Upper East Side, they're very much Charlotte.
I don't know. Well, Nicole Ari Parker's look at her outfits. She had the chic glasses.
She's different. Come on now.
Okay, I will give you that. But this is the thing. I'll tell you the one thing she did right. She called out Carrie, whether she was like roided up or not, and said, "Hey, you need to contact Samantha because you were just doing too much with the whole like pulling the thing out of her, situation, right?" So like she was smart in that album. And let me just say one other thing. If you notice in that episode, the one who was there for Carrie the most was Charlotte. I'm still on the Charlotte is a ding dong train, but ultimately, I don't know why they're trolling Gen X. I feel like if you look at Gen X, the forgotten generation, I belong to Gen X. We were not as like sexually like, I don't know, like yip yappy. Does that make sense? Like we just were. We weren't like, with the exception of a Madonna. That's more of a millennial and Gen Z thing where we're like, hey, look, I go by this identity. I'm going to put it all out there. But Gen X did not do that. So this whole Miranda situation with the cootie hands and the weird grunting, I don't know what that was in the kitchen, but she was nasty doing that in that woman's kitchen, knowing that she was healing, pouring pee on her own bed. I'm like, I was all the way done. They need a season 2 to get it right. Get it right. Anyway, last point. Gen X is definitely going through their version of a midlife crisis right now. So I get it. So they're pulling all this stuff out. But ultimately, I feel like they need a season 2 to make it make sense. That's it. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so glad that you were the last caller of 2021.
Happy New Year.
You too. Stay safe.
You too. Take care.
I love that she was the last caller for 2021. Wow. I love that you guys have such a strong opinions about Sex and the City, the new revival, the new reboot, the next chapter of this amazing story. I think they're doing a great job. I know it's not perfect. I know a lot of people have opinions, strong opinions about how they can make it better. I definitely think unanimously, we think that they deserve another season. At least some of you said at least 3 or 4. Based on what we're getting so far, they're doing a great job. There are certain little elements, and they're watching, y'all. Hey, Michael Patrick King, if you need someone to be an extra, I'm in New York. You don't even have to pay a hotel or anything. I can just come right on into the city next time y'all are filming, and I just want to be in the background. I want to be a part of history. And I don't look. Y'all know I don't ask to be on anything or ask anybody to come up here. But Sex in the City. If they told me, I'm surprised they didn't ask me to be in season 1. Damn them. But I don't need a speaking role. I mean, unless you want to give me one. But I would love to be in season 2. Come on. Let's advocate for that. Let's advocate for that. Can you imagine? Anyways, we're going to continue. I don't care if I'm in it, Michael Patrick King. I'm still going to talk about it. If it's bad, or even if it's good, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. You don't have to, but you love to support the channel. And you're part of the reason why we're able to do some of the amazing things that we've been able to do over the last year here on the channel. Yes, the last year. A lot of you know I'm not new to the entertainment game. I started doing this on Kempire Radio, our own website, interviewed some of your favorite celebrities, including Oprah Winfrey. So you knew I wasn't new to this, but coming in front of your face and bringing you news every single day consistently is new, something that we launched late last year during the pandemic, and we've grown so much, and that's because of all of you. So thank you to everyone that watches, everyone that subscribes, everyone that follows me on my social media, my TikTok, my Instagram, Facebook, Kempire Daily here on YouTube. Thank you to my moderators. I couldn't do any of this without you guys, or I would just be talking to myself. I can't even think back to when we first started going live. It could have been just a few people in the chat. And every once in a while, depending on what we're talking about, it's sometimes just an intimate crowd of 50. No matter how many people watch, be it 50 people or we've had some moments where it's been 2,000 or more people. I think when we were recapping the big interview that Meghan and Prince Harry did, I think we had close to like over 2,500 people in the live chat. I mean, it doesn't always happen, but when it does, I'm truly, truly grateful for the small and the big moments. And as I've said multiple times with the little milestones that we've had in the last year, celebrate those moments, be it 25,000 subscribers or 2,500 subscribers. We've reached a lot of really great milestones, and that's because of your support. I'm truly grateful and humbled by the amount of text messages and comments where you guys tell me how I've been a light in your life. That is the highest compliment, because if there's any reason for us to be in this world is to add goodness into the world. And I know I can get shady, but you all know my intention. Look, not everyone likes me, and I'm okay with that too. And if you are on the fence about doing something like similar to what I'm doing or whatever it may be, and you're scared of criticism, you're scared of backlash, well, this might not be it for you, but understand that if you do decide to do something similar or whatever it may be, you just have to focus on you. You can't focus on what everybody else is saying about you, because as Samantha Jones said, I forgot the quote. Damn it. I can't remember exactly, but basically she said, "Oh, it's going to come to me. It's going to come to me." If she was worried about I don't want to curse. Y'all know. If you're a Sex and the City fan, you know the quote. I can't think of it. Maybe someone will say the quote in the chat. Sia, thank you so much for the super chat. This was a crazy episode. Happy New Year's, Kempire. Happy New Year's to you. Exactly, Sasuke. Don't sweat the small stuff. Eva says we all have our sides, Kev, but we're lovable. Exactly. Okay. Libra says, full disclosure, Kev, I have a crush on you. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to all of you. I appreciate everyone sending in super chats. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. I could not do this without you guys. Yes, there we go. Sassy, I knew you guys would know. This is the perfect time to bring up that quote because all the Sex and the City fans are in the chat. Sassy, thank you for the reminder. If I was worried about I'm going to say the curse word. If I was worried about every bitch, I would never leave the house. Right now it's a pandemic, so we can't. But it's true. I understand. And look, I get in my feelings too. And if you're going on this journey and you're trying to figure out what you want to do and there are people being critical of you, the people that are truly successful are the ones that keep going. Are the ones that don't stop what they're doing, that are consistent. That is a key thing that I said earlier today, and I'm saying now. Being consistent, keep showing up, and keep pushing forward. It's those people that stop are the ones that don't achieve their dreams or success. So let that be the final thing that we say here, but it's true. If I was concerned about every bitch that did not like me, I would not get on YouTube every single day. Can you imagine? But a lot of you do appreciate what I bring to the YouTube streets, to pop culture, and to your lives. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. If you're going out, stay safe. Get that Uber. Get your COVID test whenever you need to before you get back to work, before you're around your loved ones. Stay safe. Mask up. I appreciate you guys. Sending you all love and light for this new year. 2022. If you thought 2021 was great here on the channel, 2022 is going to be even bigger and better. I'll see you guys later. Let's play some music to get out of here. I'm not going to play any Christmas music because I'm officially done with Christmas. What do I want to play? Oh, of course. Have a great evening, y'all. Happy New Year.
Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphones. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah, all I know is get paper. All I do is shit major. Bought a condo on the top floor in the building's a skyscraper. Feeling like I'm Kobe, LeBron for the Lakers. Feeling like I'm Idris, Paul Walker, Taker. New Rollie, no diamonds in it. New Porsche, all dimes in it. I'm infatuated with fine women. Corona extra with the lime in it. Just a shapes to Henny. Used to be a penny pincher. Now I'm in plenty business. Grind hard, nigga, on guard. Grind hard, nigga, on guard. Yeah. We grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. I lean with it, I rock with it. Locks under my socks fitted. Tahoe with the black tint. Houston girl, heavy accent, but my whole swag is magic. High five, fantastic. Make the money stretch like elastic. Making moves that you couldn't imagine. Eating, still watching my calories. Just to pull in that big boy salary. It's just the way that it has to be. I'm a bad boy, Mike Lowry. While I'm sipping this Henny, and all of my niggas is with me. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, on guard. Grind hard, nigga, on guard. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Oh,